Hi everyone, this is Tanya from Psycho Moms, and I wanted to share with you today how I take some Yuck paper and turn it into something fabulous. I'm going to start today with a piece of paper that I've cut down to 6 by 6. This would often be like a piece of scrap paper or something like that, but this is from the Romance collection from Bo Bunny, and it's got a lot. It's still kind of trendy because it's got flowers and it's got swirls, but it's just kind of blah. I mean, it just really isn't doing it for me. So I've turned it into this. How fabulous! Anyway, let's get started because it takes a long time to get through this process. What we're gonna do is, and I'm gonna kind of babble as I go, so don't fast forward because you'll miss some of the instructions. But I'm gonna start out with my first layer of stamps is this Friends stamps. And I'm going to color it with, I've got 3 colors that I've chosen here. I have tea dye, which is a brown, to bring in the browns from the paper. I have an H mahogany, just to give it a little contrast. And I have a black. So those are my color, that's my color palette. I'm going to take that tea dye and I'm going to put it on my stamp pad. And make sure I cover it really good. And I'm going to stamp it down here in the bottom. Well, do I want to go all the way to the top? No. I'm going to stamp it down here at the bottom. And, okay, where I'm pressing and just pressing, there's going to leave holes in the way it's put on. If you do flat like this, then you get the whole image. But I'm okay with holes because I want this to look grunged. See how the ink didn't adhere? If you wanted to do this right, then you would use a stamp pad. But this project is not about right. It's about imperfection, and it's about bringing things together. So I'm going to come back down here, keeping it as straight as possible, and I'm going to do the same thing. Now you always want to start with the lightest color and work your way up, and you always want to think in terms of layers when you're doing something like this. So we're getting there. Okay, now I'm going to put that aside. And then I have this other stamp set that I'm going to come over next, and it's from Basic Gray, and it's a grunge border stamp. It was quite expensive. I want to say it was like $20 or something, but you know what? To me, it was well worth it. Because I have used this thing, this is my most used stamp set. But what it has is it's got these smooth edges in here, and then it's got all this filigree stuff coming out, the swirls and all coming out here. So I really like it. It can go from super sophisticated to super grungy. Now, this stamp set, you have to make sure that you really cover those holes very well. So get in there tight. This stamp pad I do not like. It's old and I need to get a new one. So the color is somewhat faded on it, which is fine with me because I really want that old look. I don't want it to look freshly stamped or brand new. I want it to have that grunge look to it. So once I'm secure with that, now when you lay your stamp set down, you always want to start one corner and work your way around. But you want to make sure that this border bleeds off the side of the page. So, and if it doesn't, that's okay. We can fix it later, but that's what I'm after right there. And you want to make sure you press really hard all the way through. And even though as careful as I was to press, I still have holes. That's okay. That's okay. Don't freak out, all you perfectionists out there. Don't freak out. It's probably where I didn't put ink on it. It's going to get covered up and you're not even going to notice it. So here we go again. And I'm going to go all the way. I'm going to cheat this side this time. Oops. Wait. Off the edge. Don't forget, off the edge. A little better. I'm not really the neatest stamper in the world. I see these people with these cards that are so neat and just so perfect. I'm not that person. I think I was the person that grunge was invented for because I could be sloppy and it was okay with me. I just like ink to go where it needs to go, or stamps to lay where they want to lay. I don't really pay much attention to the really neat stuff. I know some people, if they got this, they would just throw that away. But to me, it adds character. We all have flaws, so why shouldn't our projects? Okay. One more time. Make sure you get all the ink up around those edges, because that's really what I care about seeing, are those little swirls all over those edges. It's okay if you overlap the stamp some. If you have to go all, you know, like this stamp, if it was a full 12 by 12 sheet of paper, I would probably go overlap the images some. Especially with a stamp set like this, it doesn't matter, because of the way that it's grunged up to start with. It just, you know, would continue with that. Love it. Okay, now I'm going to replace that stamp with this one, which is in the same stamp family. It just has a bigger swirl here. And I'm running out of time. I have to hurry. Okay, this time I'm not going to so much go into the corners so much, but I want to kind of hide where the seam is here and here. So I'm going to just kind of offset it just a little bit, overlapping the grunge. See how that kind of hides that? This is all about layers. This technique is all about layers. Now, the surface that I have here is, that I'm stamping on, this is I think it's an 18-inch tile or a 24-inch tile, I can't remember, but it's very smooth on the top, and I buy these at the hardware store for like $1.50, $2. I don't think I've ever paid more than $3 for one. And I don't really care what color it is, so I usually go to the sale section where they kind of get rid of things. But I love how they clean up really nicely with a Clorox wipe. And they're great surfaces for stamping on. Just if you buy one, make sure you get a smooth one, because they do have them where they're textured. Oh, it's coming together so nicely. How much time do I have? I got 8 minutes. Let's see if we can. 8 minutes into this. Let's see. One more right here. Now I'm going to take my aged mahogany, and I have a little butterfly. This butterfly is from Prima, and she has a little fairy in the center. I love Prima stamps because some of them are really affordable. They're like a couple of dollars. I think this was one of them. And it came with this little bling on the packaging. I love Prima. I think Prima's my new favorite company. Okay, so where do I want my butterfly? I think I'm going to stick it right here, just because there's a lot of holes and gaps in here. Or maybe right in there. Let's put him there. And we could do more than one butterfly, actually. Look at her. We'll do one more on this one. And maybe this time come off from this side. And I'm going to let it bleed off the page a little bit. Look at how pretty. Oh, I'm liking that a lot. Might want to put one more right there. Then I'm going to come back with my tea dye, and I'm going to take a cotton swab, and I'm going to ink around the edges just a little bit. And what that's going to do is it's going to fill in all these little holes and just kind of age it up a little bit. See where we have this imperfect. And I'm using a circular motion. You could use the Tim Holtz applicator tool too. I mean, any kind of, you just want to just kind of blend those colors just a little bit. And it kind of, because of the ink color of the black, the undertone of the black, it's kind of taking on a mauvey purpley color, which I'm okay with because it matches my butterflies. See how it just kind of smooths all that in? Now watch the magic happen. Take some kind of glimmery mist and very lightly, you want very little on here, move your stamp pad so you don't get them contaminated. Very lightly, you just want to spritz it. And what that does is it activates the watercolor in the ink that you used, and it really pops the ink up. It makes it not dull anymore. And the color that I'm using is one that I homemade, and it's got some gold in it, and then it's got the cranberry color wash and a little bit of water. Anyway, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it.